All set, Mr. Chair.
All set? Okay. All right, welcome everybody to the September 2nd, 2025 regular meeting of the Genoa Charter Township Board of Trustees. Thank you all for coming. We'll start the meeting as of 6:30, and if you would please rise and join me for the invocation. Heavenly Father, thank you for the beautiful holiday weekend and the blessing of sharing it with family and friends. We also thank you for bringing everyone here safely this evening and ask that your divine wisdom guide our discussions and decisions. Please be a source of strength and peace for those who are grieving. Bless this meeting and all who are present as we strive to honor you with our actions. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I get a roll call, clerk?
Walker?
Here.
Reiber?
Here.
Hunt?
Here.
Spicher?
Here.
Deaton here. Susie?
Here.
Hovarder?
Here.
Okay, with that, as of 6:31 p.m., I would like to open the call to the public. Please hold if you're here for either Timber Green or Edwin Drive hearings. Please wait until the appropriate call to the public for those, but anyone wishing to address any other topics of concern, feel free.
You know what, I'm gonna have someone else go before me because I'm kind of waiting. Yeah.
I'm waiting also. You want me to first, sorry.
Denise.
Well, there's someone before her, but okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, my
Told
word.
ya. Sorry. Good evening, Denise Policella, 4200 Sweet Road, and also co-director of the Genoa Coalition, the newly named Genoa Coalition. We would like to broaden our horizons a little bit and sort of move past simply stressing about the LATs and PUD and try to be a productive coalition of residents and community members trying to improve the entire coalition. So we're in the middle of rebranding. We hope you approve. Here this evening to, first of all, compliment the board and compliment the Planning Commission on work that you have accomplished since you've been in office. I imagine it doesn't feel like very long to the rest of you. To us, it feels like forever, and we would like to move forward with introducing a few ordinances and ordinance amendments that we have been chewing on and churning for way before you were elected, in hopes of creating some platforms for protecting the public safety, health, and welfare, for improving the community, and for correcting what we, I think, collectively consider some flaws in the zoning ordinance in particular. I've emailed these in the effort to save trees to the clerk, the supervisor, and to Kelly Van Marter, but I'll just very briefly tell you about them. One of the things that we would like to do is prohibit large-scale, hyperscale mega data centers and commercial Bitcoin mining operations, primarily due to the noise and vibration they create, the water they consume, their environmental and health deleterious impacts on both the residents and the environment and the community. Hopefully we can get through that one as rapidly as possible. We've also proposed an amendment to the zoning ordinances to correct the location of underground hazardous storage tanks to within 2,000 feet of any residential well, as opposed to just multifamily wells. We're also, we've also proposed changes to the noise ordinance, simply to update it for these times. when it's very common for vibrations to also be a noise hazard. And last but not least, an ethics ordinance, which is by no means a reflection on the board or any staff, but something that we think was required for the old board. And simply having an ethics ordinance in place and giving the appearance of ethics, disclosure, and transparency is going to be great for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise.
Hi there, Susan Nichols. Good to see you guys. I just want to say thank you for everything you guys do. I know this is really hard, a lot of work, a lot of learning. We're all learning. So I just first wanted to say that. And I know tonight that you can't answer questions, but you certainly know what the public was looking for. You guys replaced an entire board. People voted for that. They voted for that. So that's your first clear clue on what they want. And part of that was running on keeping the rural character of Genoa Township. So I'm kind of backing up Denise with ordinances that I think are really important. And I think for you guys, too, I don't know how all this works. And I'm sure you got in here and didn't know how it worked. But who's supposed to be guiding you? Who's supposed to be guiding you in the ordinances and in the things that might have happened? You have so much to learn. And I'm sitting here trying as a resident of Genoa. So I just wanted to reiterate, so proud of you guys. You know, if your clues are that you got elected to protect our community. And if you look at the recent Livingston County master plan, you know that those that participated didn't want more than 2% growth in business and industry in Livingston County. So that's number two, a really strong stand for you guys as we are coming up on our master plan. I love that you are creating an advisory committee, that I can be part of that we can be the voices for our community, so thank you for that too. And then, as I'm learning, talking to commissioners, something that I pulled up that I thought was interesting, and anybody can talk to me, correct me, but this is from Michigan State University and the Michigan Planning. So this is something I wasn't aware of. A master plan is not a legally binding document. It serves as a policy guide for future development and decision-making. If a decision is made to not honor it, there are typically no legal penalties as it is not enforceable like a zoning ordinance. So the township, from what I understand, is not obligated to rezone property after a developer has purchased it just because it's on the master plan. The only exception that I could see or find was that if there was a PUD that was approved for such property. That being said, the ordinance is being brought forth by the coalition. I think if we can all come together, make this work, and try to get some ordinances that will protect the rural character of Genoa Township. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan.
Hello, Deborah Beatty, 3109 Pineview Trail. I just want to also add that you guys have, Kevin, you have put in so many programs in place to bring more involvement by the residents, and we all appreciate every bit of that. And now we just want to see those protections come in for protecting the peaceful enjoyment of our properties with ordinances. That's where we want to go next. And Denise has presented some, and if we think that should be put towards the top of the list of things to do now and get those done as quick as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Deb.
Good evening. My name is Beverly Hamilton. I live on 4769 Still Meadow Drive. My husband and I moved here 7 years ago because Genoa Township offered us what we wanted. We love the rural community. We lived in Canton, and we didn't want that anymore. When I first got involved in coming to the meetings, it was when the expansion was going on, or potential expansion on Latson Road, and we were right off of Crooked Lake, our subdivision, and we really don't want a warehouse that has 24 hours trucking, lights, noise. So I started looking at other options of what might come to our community. And I didn't know anything about a mega data center. And honestly, it doesn't even sound like a bad idea. So when I started looking up research on it and studies on it, I discovered that it's a massive use of our utilities. It is the same equivalency of a small town using that much of our utilities. It could cause our rates to go up. It also is a huge consumer of our water. We had never been on well water before we moved out here. We were used to city water and somebody else regulating that. And we have big concerns about their use of our water and what would happen. There's also been documentation of the mega centers hurting individual wells. So that's a big concern of mine. One of the things I didn't know about is something called data center trash, which is one of the highest emissions of CO2 in our environment. Because of the nature of their business, they have to have backup generators, which are usually diesel, which are loud, which are large, which emit CO2, emits nitric oxide, sulfur dioxide, also harmful particulates in the air, which we would breathe. It would get in our lungs, it would get in our bloodstream. So there's a lot of negatives. I don't even know what demands it would put on our services, our police, our fire. So I understand that it's hard to say no development, but I really would, and I know that you guys were elected because you agree with the principles of most of us residents here. I would just love to see maybe something residential go on, but just not commercial and sure not industrial. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to speak? Open mic, so to speak.
He's one of the few people who can spell my name right. I got it. Good evening. And I apologize in advance. I can't stay for the whole meeting tonight, but in particular, I have two things to talk about. One, the infrastructure. Gosh, I sure hope that we're all happy that the infrastructure and the road improvements is coming close to an end. But by the same token, I'm thankful that we have new businesses coming in. We have new residents coming in. I appreciate that we're going to be able to share this community with people that want to move here still. The second thing is, you and your discussion item tonight are going to talk about the land that was acquired off of Brighton Road. And I know that Kelly has this, and she's dialed into it entirely, but let's make sure that we have the environmentals correct. That is that old dump land. We do have the test wells on the land. So I just want to make sure that the environmentals get really looked at. Seeing the concept of and spending the money to see what a concept could be there, absolutely perfect. That's awesome. So thank you, and I look forward to being part of the focus group. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you, Jeff.
Hi, my name is Greg Agustin, a relatively new resident to Genoa Township just in the past year. Live at 4734 Chestnut Springs Drive off of Chilson Road. I'm here to help requesting support. I spoke with Kelly regarding the speed review on Chilson Road in front of our neighborhood, and also spoke to Rowdy Perry, who's the director or manager for the Brighton Recreation Area. There's a 40-mile-an-hour speed limit coming from Brighton Road on Chilson, like when you turn off of Brighton going south, southwest, I guess. The speed limit's 40 miles an hour. Then you get to a series of curves near Keller Well Corporation or company, and the speed limit goes to 55, and then it's 55 from that point across the railroad track all the way through the Brighton Rec area. I don't know if you've ever driven that area. We're in a new subdivision, relatively new subdivision. We have several neighbors here in support of this. But traveling at 55 miles an hour with the curves in the road, you literally have about 4 to 5 seconds to look this way and about 6 seconds going that way for those cars coming right at you at 55 miles an hour plus, some of them, to make, to get out on the road. And then you're coming from a dead stop and they're coming at, 55 miles an hour. Some people drive a little slower, some people drive a little faster, as we all know, being here in Michigan. But action really just to request that you please approve that speed review for us, because it is a very dangerous situation. We don't have a shoulder as you come south, so if a person comes through that series of curves and you're making a left-hand turn, again, you're starting at 0, they're going at 55 miles an hour. There's not a place, or if you're going to turn into the neighborhood, turning left in the neighborhood, there's not a place for them to go around unless they go off on the gravel or off on the grass on the side, which is another dangerous situation. The other thing is if you go to Bishop Lake Road in the park, and if you've ever tried to make a right or left turn at Bishop Lake, your limited distance is probably about 3 seconds before the car would be on top of you coming out of Bishop Lake Road right there at the park. So I don't know, Kelly, I don't know if Rowdy sent a request to you. He did? Okay, yes, he said he would because it's a concern. What we're requesting is if we could get a constant speed or a review of the speed, hopefully they'll come back and say either maintain it at 40, at the most 45, but make it consistent so that there's no up and down in the speed limit, because that creates a dangerous situation for us. And I'm concerned about, my family, and then other neighbors in the subdivision. We have 24 houses in that subdivision now that weren't there before, plus there's a couple additional new houses out on Chilson Road. So the situation has changed as far as the number of residents there that makes it very dangerous. So your support of that is greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to speak at the open call to the public? Okay, seeing none, we will close call to the public at 6:48 p.m. At this time, I would entertain a motion regarding the consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
I have a motion, I have a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I will ask all those in favor to signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same? Motion carries. Okay, at this time, I will entertain a motion regarding the regular agenda.
I'll move approval of the regular agenda as presented.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I would ask all those in favor to signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same? Motion carried. Action item number 3 is public hearing on the proposed special assessment roll for the Timber Green Court Private Road Improvement Special Assessment Project to appear on Winter Tax 2025. Real quickly, and just so people kind of get the idea of how this progresses, the project was actually greenlit at the last meeting. This is about the makeup of the special assessment roll, who was on it. So this is the final part of the hearing. So with that, at 6:49 p.m., I would like to open the call to just property owners within the Timber Green Court private road, if anyone would like to speak.
Good evening, board members and others. Before I make a short little pitch here, I'd just like to thank the board for the consideration you've given this application, and do a shout out to Kelly. She's been outstanding in terms of answering questions and getting the numbers put together on a timely basis. We have 5 residents here tonight to show support, And the only thing that I would recommend is following the public hearing, you take action to do the final steps of approval so we can get into the planning stage if appropriate. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Name and address.
Pardon me? Oh, 3985 Timber Green Court. Bob Moran, M-O-R-A-N.
Okay, anyone else, any other property owners from Timber Green Court would like to speak? Okay, seeing none, I will close the call to property owners portion as of 6:51. And at this point, I will open it up to the call to the general public if any general public has any comments on the Timber Green Court Private Road Improvement SAD. Seeing none, we will go ahead and not have that call to the public. Action item number 4 is the request for approval of resolution number 5, confirming the special assessment role for the Timber Green Court Private Road Improvement Special Assessment Project to appear on Winter Tax 2025.
If I can just add real quick for any of the property owners, it was included in the mailing, but the township charges 2% interest for this. Anyone who wants to pay it off without interest would need to pay it by September 29th.
Okay, thank you, Robin. Any other comments among the board?
It
Okay.
seems like the residents have really gelled and gotten behind with a single voice, and that's great. That's how you do it. Just one team, one goal, and one direction forward. So, good job.
Agreed. At this time, I would entertain a motion on resolution number 5.
Number 4.
Action item number 4 is resolution number 5.
Oh.
This is our third time in on this one, so it's racking up the numbers.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 5, confirming special assessment role for Timber Green Court Private Road Improvement Special Assessments Project payable by Winter Tax 2025.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion, I have a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I will ask the clerk for a roll call, please.
Hunt,
Yes.
Ryber,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Havarder. Yes. Susie,
Yes.
Deaton, yes. Spiker.
Yes. Okay. Congratulations, you have yourself a new road coming. Moving on, action item number 5 is a public hearing on the proposed termination of the Edwin Drive Private Road Maintenance Special Assessment Project. Before we start, I would like to say this is about really whether or not you want to continue with the project as currently constructed, or if you would like to terminate it and start over. We ask, really keep it non-personal. We don't want to be the referees in a neighborhood scrum. Just opinions regarding the project itself, please, and keep it at that. So with that, at 6:54 p.m., I would like to open the call to property owners on Edwin Drive. If anyone would like to speak.
My name is Philip Brown. I'm at 1681 Edwin. I've been here before, and I've spoken with Kelly about this before. The way this is set up is that we have to use the vendors that have already been pre-approved. We've had issues with the vendors coming out when they weren't told to come out. Grading the road without putting down the millings, charging us for what was supposed to be asphalt millings, and it appeared to be a combination maybe of millings and crushed gravel. It's a light colored stuff. The first load was beautiful. The loads after that weren't. We had changed the executor, the person that was taking care of this, but somehow that got tossed out. We had talked with K&B and asked them to pick up millings to drop off on the road before they graded the road this year. They said that their truck was broken down, that he couldn't get out there for 6 weeks. Yet 2 days later, he came out with a different truck that wasn't his and graded the road without putting the millings down. So wherever that lack of communication went, I don't know, but we had planned on putting fresh millings down, good, solid millings from another vendor, which we had spoken to the township about, and that's what we were gonna do. And then shortly after that, they came by and treated it with the calcium chloride, and a few days later, it appeared, well, even the day that they treated, it was a real light treating. It was real blotchy, real thin. A few days later, it looked like it dried out, so I'm not sure what the situation was then. I called Big Barney myself and asked him. She said, she assured me that she had gotten an order to come out and spray the road when the guy that was taking care of it hadn't called them and asked them about it, asked them to come out. So they came out and did it, and she said that she'd come back out and spray the road again. Yet we had another local person here that was gonna bring millings out to us at about 25%, good millings, asphalt millings, because they've been getting them, at about 25% of the cost that we were going to be paying from K&B. Yet somehow K&B got the job, and they're out there doing it without any of us saying anything to them about it. And where we're at right now is we had spoken with Kelly. Kelly said we can't change anything because the lawyers have to change the whole thing because we're obligated to use the vendors that's on this proposal here right now. Well, there's enough of us there that aren't happy with the vendors. Me personally, he was anything but a gentleman with me when I asked him what was going on and how come he wasn't bringing the millings out. And me personally, I don't want to use them. We have other neighbors in the neighborhood that don't want to use them. We have another vendor that'd be more than happy to use another vendor here that's close, that the township knows them, that do the work. They would come out and do it, grade the road, give us the material for about 25% the cost of the other one, saving us that money. So we come back to you, and now the whole thing's getting canceled. So if we have to use the same vendors that came out there and did the work without being authorized to do it, and then cussed me out when I went out there and asked them what they were doing, why they were out there without being authorized to do it, I personally don't want to use those vendors. There's a bunch of our other neighbors that don't want to use the other vendors when we can be getting a better job by real nice, good Christian family that lives right up the street here that would come out, put the millings down, grade them, do our driveways, everything for way less price. So as a fiduciary, you guys are supposed to be watching our money and taking care of our money. And the way it's going right now is just an absolute waste of the money that we've put into it, because we can get a much better job a lot cheaper without doing it through you. And this way we don't have to pay for the ad, pay for the 2%, all the rest of it. So if this is a meeting about whether we continue the thing or we have to shut it down in order to change vendors, I vote to shut the whole thing down because it's become a complete cluster. It's horrible. I've lived there almost 30 years. All the neighbors have always gotten along with each other. There's never been any issue. And now it's just an absolute disaster because of this whole thing. So, and this is my neighbor next door, Wayne, who couldn't be here tonight, but he's come and spoke with Kelly about this. She knows him, Wayne Gubala, and
We're pretty far over our 3 minutes.
okay, fine. He says that.
I appreciate it. Yep.
All right, here's the letter right here from him saying the same thing.
Okay, we'll count that as a second. Just a real quick correction. So we have the estimate from the company that you're talking about, and there is no number on that estimate that is 25% of the cost of anything that the current contractor is providing. So I don't feel comfortable with the current contractors being trashed without really proper documentation. A lot of the rest of this is just he said, she said, and there's really no way for us to referee that. So the basic gist of this is, yes, we would like to move forward as is, or no, we would like to terminate. The contractors, we're not here to referee. This is not that forum.
My name's Mark Fry. I live at 1636 Edwin. And I would like to know who is in charge of our road as maintenance. I have a letter here stating that Mike Rufaro is, and then I got a Rochelle Huntsman that is saying she is. So I'd like to know, because somebody had the road graded, calcium chloride, and now they're trying to take my money to pay to the $450 bill that 8 people have signed to have it done. Well, all I know is that my money comes disappearing because of these 8 people. Because of that, there's gonna be a lawsuit against Genoa Township and the person who did it. My vote on this whole road thing is get rid of them vendors, so I vote no on that too. And that's all I have to say at the moment, and I sure would still like to know who's in charge of the road. Because apparently I slandered one of them, which I didn't. All I did was say, do not spray calcium chloride in front of my house, because the last board member told me it was just a salt and water slurry mix, it won't hurt nothing. But it killed my whole yard, made it into a swamp, made it stink for like 2-3 weeks. I have young children next door that live next to me. You know, and I asked to have the calcium chloride sprayed in the middle of the road, but apparently my voice don't carry. So that's why I'm here, to voice my opinion. And I vote for you guys to get rid of it and find a different vendor, if you could, please. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Mark.
You're welcome.
And to answer your question, Mike Ruffalo is the appointed supervisor of the project.
Yeah, I have the documentation right here, but apparently somebody else is going behind our back and ordering stuff and spending our money when they're not authorized to, and that, to me, sounds like a lawsuit.
Noted.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Anybody else would like to speak as a property owner? Sir. Oh,
My name's Mike Gaunt. Live at 1562 Edwin Drive. I mean, with everything that's going on, like it really has been a lot, I guess. I haven't paid attention to it, but as for keeping or canceling the road maintenance, I'm in favor of keeping it. You know, I guess I've been there since 2012, and before the special assessment, the road was just horrendous. The only time it would ever get fixed is if I myself brought machines home from work and, you know, did whatever I could do to help maintain the road, or even plowing it. I was the only one to plow it. And since the special assessment has came in, people have gotten paid. The road has gotten plowed. I don't know what the other options are of canceling it, but, you know, that I guess I would like to hear those as well. But as in for the services and everything, you know, I understand that it sounds like some people are upset about the vendors and stuff. I myself work at Bob Myers Excavating, and we do this same exact thing, all, you know, for Hamburg Township and stuff like that. And I guess we would, I don't know, I wouldn't say be in competition with KB, but I think KB does a good job, and our road looks pretty well. So I don't know what the bids even look like or anything like that, but I know that there is a night and day difference from before the special assessment to now. And I feel like, you know, it's actually been maintained. So, like, if that's what this meeting is about, I'm for keeping the special assessment. You know, my kids can ride a bike up and down the road. You know, it's nice. We can pull out in the wintertime, not have to worry about the ice and, you know, like coming around Hughes Road there, all the snow, you know, which is natural, gets pushed towards the outside of the road, and we just happen to be on that corner. So sometimes it's really hard to pull out, and without a truck to plow it, it's dangerous. So until I hear further options of what can be done about it, I'm in favor for keeping it. And yeah, I guess, I don't know if there's anything else to talk about or any other questions or anything like that, but.
Well, that's pretty much what this is about. Are you content, happy with the current setup, or do you want drastic change and a different setup is really what this hearing
Yeah,
is
no,
about?
I'm happy with it, for sure.
Okay, thank you very much. Anybody else from Edwin Drive?
Hello, I'm Christine Gaunt. I live at 1652 Edwin Drive. Wasn't really planning on speaking, but I guess I just wanted to say as well, I don't know the inner workings of everything going behind the scenes with KB excavating or anything like that, but I agree with my husband. We've been on the road for a while now, and before the special project was in place, the road was awful unless my husband brought things in. So like he said, our kids can actually play on the road. We can, you know, actually use it. I don't have to worry about my car getting hit by a pothole or, you know, the snow not being plowed. So if there are other options, you know, we are open to hearing it. But as far as I'm concerned, I've been a lot happier with how our road has been maintained since the special assessment. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Rochelle Huntsman at 1662 Edwin Drive. I still feel the same, that I don't want the road to be terminated. As everybody said, it was a poor road to drive on, and it's been nice. And it's brought up our property value, and people have been happy with it. Just for some reason this time around, there's mixed feelings about everything, and that's understandable. So when I was here 2 weeks ago, there was a suggestion to see if possibly if people could set their feelings aside and find somebody that can stay neutral, get the road done properly the way it's supposed to, maintained throughout the year. And I waited for contact from Mike, but I never heard back from him. So 7 other houses decided to move forward, and we were all in agreement that we wanted Mike and Christine, and I have signatures and everything, for them to become the road liaison, because there's no happy medium when it comes to the road liaison that's going on right now. So I felt that they'll do it, they'll do a great job, and they're honorable, and they will do everything right the way that they're supposed to. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
My name's Kelly Grooms. I'm at 1655 Edwin. I've been there the second longest, only to Bob in the back. The road was not great most of the time, but there was times where it was well taken care of. It hasn't been bad in the last 5 years. The problem really comes down to the vendors, and if we can't change the vendors, that should be something that we as the committee or the road people decide to change vendors. If we can't change vendors, I'm against it, because if the vendors are treating our road people wrong, and I seen it, or my wife's seen it when it happened, went down with K&B. If we can't change when they're not treating us right, and we don't feel that we're getting the millings that we paid for, and people are doing things that shouldn't be done, then I'm against it. I'm against it unless we can reorganize it to where we can have the vendor decision, not the 5-year contract, no change contract. That just doesn't seem right to me. We should always be able to change it. You guys, I guarantee if you want to change something, you change something. You make a vote. We should be able to make a vote. If we make a vote and say we don't want K and B, we want another vendor, we should be able to do that. So if we can't do that, then I'm against it. Thank you.
Real quick, just so everybody's clear, the vendors were technically selected by the members of the Special Assessment District who asked us to approve that Special Assessment District. We have no connection to these vendors in any way, shape, or form. The reason for the issues with the change, if you want to change one person, one thing about the contract, I don't think that's a big deal. 3 of the 4 major subjects of the contract are being argued over. To make that drastic of a change, you have to start over. And that's what we're wrestling with this evening. So, go ahead, sir.
Robert Bierschbach, 1601 Edwin Drive. I'm the old guy in the place. I lived on Edwin for 57 years. If we go back to the way it was before, where we have to take care of it ourselves, when half the people do not want to pay to have the road fixed, that's the reason why I went to this in the first place. Because the ones that have been there for 30 years know how that was, how we would bring pickup trucks full of dirt in, use our lawnmowers, our rakes, our shovels to fill in holes, as everybody that did not want to pay sat around and watched. And they got the spoils of driving down at least a partially done road that could be done by, say, rakes and shovels. We were lucky when Mike came in and was able to do that through his work. And then we had this happen. We need it to stay, because if people don't want to pay, but they want to use the road, it's ridiculous. Everybody's equal with what we're doing. The vendor part, I don't know. If we can change that, then so be it, I guess. We have to have somebody else in charge, so be it. I've gone through when they put the sewers in back in '93 and completely destroyed our road. Ever since that time is when this has happened. And we had to take care of the road after we became a private road. And it's cost some people thousands of dollars and others $0, because that wasn't they didn't have to do it. And you're going around asking, it's a yes or no, and they're going to say no. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Robert. Anybody else interested in speaking? Property owners on Edwin Drive.
Mike Ruffalo, 1619 Edwin. When you said that the pricing didn't compare, you might have been confused because one vendor priced out at tons and one at yards. When you do the calculations, you'll find that there is a pricing difference, that the 10 tons is much more than the 5 yards. So take a look at that. Sometimes it's confusing when people are trying to do those calculations. I would like to rescind the assessment of the road maintenance, as we call it, special assessment. If we keep these same contractors in here, we're going to be in here every month in front of the board complaining to stop it again and again and again. So, you know, if you vote that it's okay for K&B to tell residents staff off, I'm going to come back every month. I don't find that acceptable. Some of you people may. We have different ideas of what's right and wrong. Byron at Big Barney's looked me in the eye and said that Kelly Van Matter ordered him to do dust control 3 weeks later. I said it was a lie the last time I was there, and I still think it's a lie. I don't think Kelly would do that. I've been working with Kelly on this the whole time. I find it very reputable and honest. And you said not to make it personal, but he's a liar. And, you know, unless Kelly's going to stand up and say, no, I really did order it, I'm going to stand with that. We've had problems and fighting and infighting. It just doesn't work. If we're going to do this, you need to rescind it. If you pass a new one, We've got to be able to select vendors and hold them to a standard of operation. I was not there to select the pricing when this was first proposed. I was asked a couple days before the second meeting if I would take over, and I agreed to it. I did not understand at the time that we were locked into those vendors unless we rescinded it. Otherwise, at that time, I would have asked you not to pass it and let us bring it forward with something that was more appropriate. We have to have a service level agreement with our vendors. Everybody does, whether it's road maintenance, IT maintenance, and to have vendors running roughshod over residents is unacceptable. So I would ask that you rescind this. If at some point we can get together and put together a proposal that the board could pass that had some liability to keep good vendors in, then I would support that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Any other Edwin Drive residents wishing to speak this evening? Okay, with that, at 7:16 p.m., I would like to close the call to the property owners. And at this time, I will go ahead and open a call to the general public. If anyone from the general public would like to speak regarding the Edwin Drive Private Road Maintenance SAD. Seeing none, I will go ahead and close the call to the public. Moving on, action item number 6 is a request for approval of resolution number 7, resolution to terminate the Edwin Drive Private Road Maintenance Special Assessment Project, Summer Tax 2025, amend the confirmed special assessment roll, rescind prior resolutions, and dissolve the Edwin Drive Private Road Maintenance Special Assessment Project. Questions or concerns, comments from the board?
I'd like to make a couple comments. You know you're supposed to love thy neighbor, right? Everybody get along. Doesn't seem like that's happening here. I'm reading this and I'm wanting to do what the residents want to do, although I'm afraid that nothing is going to get done. From hearing from Bob over here, it was a total disaster until we were involved, and same with what I think it was Mike said. But most people don't like the contractors, so I'm kind of torn because I know that the roads won't be maintained if you can't even get along now with what we have implemented 60 days ago. It wasn't even 60 days. Everybody knew who the contractors were. Everything was spelled out on how much you were going to have to pay, how much interest, what was going to come out of your taxes. Everything was completely set in stone, and there was not one opposing voice that was here. Everybody agreed to it. Now everybody has an issue. And our staff has put a lot of work and time and energy into this. And to me, it's kind of disappointing. But I have to do what the residents want to do. And it's a hard call because I don't think anything's going to get done. And if you guys can't agree on the vendors now, what makes you think you're going to agree on the vendors in the future? So I'm kind of leaning towards wanting to keep it because it was just set in stone and nobody opposed the contractors that were in place at the time that we implemented this, like I said, less than 60 days ago. So that's just my thoughts. I mean, I don't know, it's really hard for me to make this determination. I'm afraid that if nothing gets done, the roads aren't getting done, it's gonna affect the property owners and all the residents there who are afraid to stand up and say something. Their cars are gonna get ruined, and we're gonna have bigger issues on our hands rather than contractors, so. Just my personal opinion.
I agree with you, Janine, because if it gets done, there's gonna be hard feelings for a little while. If it doesn't get done, there's gonna be hard feelings for a long while. I think that that's a more bitter choice, is to leave it to die. If this is just an issue of a contractor, I don't like that guy because he cursed that doesn't necessarily represent the owner of the company or the quality of their service. I'm not into the same business you guys are in the construction and building kind of stuff. But, you know, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me. If that's at the crux of this because somebody used some foul language, then I don't know, it's pretty steep, price to pay for not getting it done. Everybody wants this done. I made this point last time. Everybody, to a resident, wants the work done.
Nobody wanted their work done at the wrong time. On July 14th, that work was not over.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. We had a majority of the residents come forth, petition for this special project. There was a majority of the people, and that's the way we run things in this country, right? Okay, well, I'm sorry I wasn't there to ask, but if there's 17 people and there's 9 signature, you're go, right? It was a go.
Right, but to get those signatures, don't you have to talk to every resident on the street? Nobody came and knocked on my door for a signature because they're all afraid of me.
Well, I can't speak to that. I can't speak to that, and I apologize if
So
you
the
were
call,
left out.
call the public is over.
Excuse me.
Yeah, so.
This is the public's already had their opportunity to talk. This is a board discussion at this point, so your job is just to listen to what we have to say at this point, please. Now, I think part of the issue is K&B was getting direction from 2 different people or not 2 different people, and I can appreciate probably their frustration in who's calling the shots. And I think that's where it comes from, and the ill will there, or maybe even their harsh words, is they're frustrated with who's calling the shots and who's doing whatever and so forth. They're not getting a clear direction or didn't get a clear direction. So I tend to agree that it probably ought to stay in place and you just got to deal with it. Because if they're in place and they know they're in place, I think their attitude towards you guys will be better. I think your attitude towards them will be better if you're not fighting with them all the time. Because I agree with what Janine said, is that if we terminate this with the infighting that's already going in the neighborhood, it's going to be impossible for you guys to come back here for a special assessment on a consensus. And because one person's saying several people don't want to pay anything, one people saying I want this vendor, one people say it's fine, you're not going to come to a consensus, and it's just going to go downhill all the way. So I'm kind of leaning towards the idea of keeping it in place, even though that at the beginning of all this, quite frankly, I was in favor of just terminating and let you guys fight amongst yourselves and come back to us and figure it out. I don't think it'll come back to us to figure it out, because you're going to have more problems. So that's my 2 cents.
Well, I'm going to go against what everyone else has said. I'm convinced this district's too far gone. There's too many problems, and I don't think it's going to get any better. I think a good solution is, and we discussed it at the last time, get somebody new to take over this project. Everybody agrees you need this, because if left to the people, everybody's not going to pay equally. So get somebody else to organize this, put the work orders together, and get everybody to work together and agree. This one, I think, is too far gone, and if we push to keep this going, I don't see it getting any better.
We just saw Timber Green come in a unified manner with contractors in place, leadership in place. They're a do this video, and what we've been watching with the Edwin project is like kind of a don't do this video. I'm not closed-minded to exploring this again in the future if a strong consensus is formed, like if they can clean their house and bring a clean house to us so we can help them. I'm not opposed to that. But the infighting and the he said, she said, and I'm afraid that that's got to get fixed.
Yeah, you're right.
I think so too.
Is there, let's say I'm a guy and I run a business grading roads, and I grade the road, and I guarantee my work for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and after 2 years, it's crap again. Am I on the hook for like a warranty? I have to come back and fix it within my warranty period? I don't know what the answer to that is.
On a dirt road, it's pretty difficult, although I will say I drove the road yesterday and better than my driveway, my driveway's pretty good. The work has not been done to an inferior standard, is what I will say.
And it's from my understanding, this contractor has done the roads for the last 5 years. This is just a renewal. This is the same contractor. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Is this the same contractor?
That is correct.
Yeah, so, and I drove down the road the other day, and the roads were perfectly fine. I didn't see any issue. I don't know, they look good, and I'm fully not understanding. I mean, I get that they didn't like there was a fighting with the contractor, but I don't know. It's a tough call. I've lived on a private road where it was not maintained, and me too, getting the dirt and the shovel and trying to fill it in, and I remember my daughter riding with her training wheels, and they were on both sides of the pothole, and the tire was just spinning, and she was stuck, and I had to go out there and push her. I mean, we don't want that, so.
And I also get the point of, there's so many of us, and people are benefiting from the blood, sweat, and tears of a few, and getting off kind of scot-free, whereas an assessment on everybody's taxes, you're all treated equally. And that is a benefit that I see of getting the job done. There are gonna be some people with sore feelings, but I think those sore feelings, once you've got this road project done and the dust settles and the tempers unflare, you guys will be friends eventually again. But if nothing gets done, it's just, we're just gonna chase our tails next year or the year after or the year after. That's just my opinion.
Financially, though, with the money that's been spent and people came and didn't come, did we just pay as we were planning? Right?
So we can pay within the project scope.
Yep, so that remains the same.
Yep.
Okay.
The difficulty is that the way procedurally we have this set up is that there is a neighborhood representative that signs off on those invoices. Just so to get to your point, Trustee Reiber, there is some type of present internal control, and that a resident of the neighborhood is scheduling the work and is verifying that the work has been done in accordance with the project agreement. So in a situation where the project representative no longer wants to use the vendors or schedule work with those vendors, that presents a problem for us because we won't pay an invoice until it's been authorized.
And I think my point was, and Philip, I appreciate it. If somebody yelled at me in profanity and this, that, and the other, I probably wouldn't want to do business with them. And just like Rick said, but to get it done is important to me. I think, and it seems like the vendor that was originally approved is reputable. They do a good job. They've been in business for a long time. The roads, I didn't drive down them, but they seem from a couple of people up here that they're very good. Some of the neighbors here said that their kids can ride their bikes on the road. That's a plus.
The work is done to an acceptable to good standard.
Was with the road commission, so he got the eagle eye on it.
So if this were terminated, how long would the Edwin Drive people have to clean their house, get their team in order, and come back to represent something good to us?
There's no minimum or maximum standard for that. So to initiate a new special assessment district would involve them determining the scope, determining the vendors, and then we would work with them to prepare petitions. And then they would go to the neighbors and get petitions. Once they had over 50% support for this revised project, we would then present it to the board for their review and consideration.
I'm just thinking snow, as much as I don't want to say that word, but, you know, we move at the speed of government. We can only go as fast as the rules allow.
Right, unfortunately, we'd have to restart the public hearing process and
It's a
go
minimum of
through
3
all the
meetings.
steps.
Okay,
6 weeks minimum,
got it.
so, yeah.
Gotta clean the house.
The tough situation the township is in, though, is the person signing off on invoices or approving invoices, and we still have a vendor who doesn't know who to listen to, and that's why I think this district is too far gone. I think the best answer is to rescind the district and start new.
At this time, I will entertain a motion on resolution number 7.
Well, I would make a motion to approve resolution number 7 to terminate the Edwin Drive Private Road Maintenance Special Assessment Project, Summer Tax 2025, amend the confirmed special assessment rule, rescind prior resolutions, and dissolve the Edwin Drive Private Road Maintenance Special Assessment Project.
I'll second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Any further discussion? Just to clarify, a yes vote is a yes to the termination of the special assessment district. A no vote is a vote to continue the special assessment district as currently constituted. Can I get a roll call,
Question
please?
before we roll call, if I can do that. Can I do that after the motion was made?
Absolutely. Quick question. We're technically still in discussion.
Okay. So it seems like if this is not approved, in other words, the rescinding is not approved, Mike is still the guy signing off on work orders, right? That's the last project boss that's been recognized. And I guess, Mike, I can't tell what's in your heart. You might have some bad feelings about it, but it sounded like Rochelle came up and said, to get it done, I'm willing to step aside. I just wondered if your heart is in the same place, that if it doesn't get rescinded and it's still left in place, would you hold a grudge and just work poorly with the contractors that you have to work with? I would hope that you would, in the interest of your neighbors.
I would say that in the last 40 years managing a municipal project, I've always worked in the best interest of the customer. And there's no reason that I would not do that now.
Okay, thank you.
There may be people that can't keep their feelings inside of a management project. But you can check my background in the CSB. That's not me.
Thank you, Mike.
The opinion at this point has been a hard no.
I thought that the couple right there, I thought they were gonna take it over and be in charge. Isn't that what?
They're
Michelle said?
willing to step in, but again, if you change the project manager and you change multiple contractors,
No,
you
no
don't have anything
contractors.
left of
I
your,
thought that was the only thing we were willing to consider.
With all the changes, if there are significant changes, then this needs to be terminated and started over,
Yeah.
which I'm not closed-minded to.
All right.
that's fine if we want to give this a try again. And it worked good the first time, second time, not so much. We only have 2 of these, this being one of them. We're not in the business of private drive road maintenance.
So we have a motion and a second.
So, yep, we have a motion, we have a second. We've completed the further discussion, and yes is a termination vote, no is a keep the project going vote. With that, may I get a roll call, please? Clerk Deaton.
Sure. Hunt,
Yes.
Reiber,
No.
Walker,
Yes.
Hovarder,
I don't really know what to do. Yes.
Susie,
Yes.
Deaton, no, Spiker,
Yes. Okay. The Edwin Drive Private Road Maintenance Special Assessment Project, currently constructed, has been terminated, rescinded. Again, people are welcome to get their ducks in a row and come back to have it have a new one started, we're open to that. Okay. Moving on. Action item number 7 is the consideration of a recommendation for approval of a special land use application, impact assessment, and site plan for a private road serving 7 parcels on 20.39 acres. The property is located at 6025 Brighton Road. The special land use is required for the shared driveway to cross a regulated wetland impacting the 25-foot natural features setback. The proposed development is for the following parcels: 4711-26300-011 and 4711-27400-012. This request is submitted by Boss Engineering, who is here to speak with us.
Good evening, I'm Brent Levanway with Boss Engineering. Also here tonight is Kevin Van Canel, the owner and developer of the project. So as noted, we are before you this evening for 3 approvals. The project is 7 parcel land division and private road with shared driveway. It's on the north side of Brighton Road, and there is an existing house on the parcel currently that will remain. We have road commission approval, and we have Township Planning Commission recommendation for approval, Township Planning Consultant, and Township Engineer recommendation for approval. And we're before you this evening to request those 3, and if you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer them.
And just to clear up, the existing home is on, I believe it's parcel number 6 in the drawing, is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay, yep. So there would be 6 new constructions and the existing home left to be part of the development.
That's correct.
I do have a couple quick questions. Are these going to be on sewer or septic systems?
They are septic systems and wells, and we do have the health department approval for those.
Okay, and then were they able to, these parcels with the wetlands in the vicinity, able to perk? Or are they going to require engineered septic?
They are all perked for conventional septic systems,
Including parcel number 4?
including parcel
The large back one that kind of butts up to the
Yes.
wetlands.
Yeah, the drawing's a little bit deceiving because, these are all minimum 2.5 acre parcels, so they're very good size, and the back parcel is, I believe, 7 acres. So there's a significant area available for both the building envelope and the septic systems and wells.
Okay. And then I did see that you guys are going to have a private road maintenance agreement, thank you, and a fund for that. Who, do you have the contractors already lined up for those?
We do not at this point.
Okay, so who's going to get that established? Is it the developer?
The developer will be involved to the point that they turn over the, call it the association to the residents. But then, of course, it's the residents that are responsible for that private road maintenance.
Like the one that we just,
Like the one right before us. Yes.
okay.
Oh,
Your timing might be a little bit.
If I may, Madam Clerk, contrary to the neighborhood just before us, before we approve land divisions, we require that private road maintenance agreement be put in place and then recorded on all the properties. So Edwin Drive actually doesn't have any type of a legally binding private road maintenance agreement. This subdivision will have that, so all the parameters about how the road is maintained, who pays for what, will be laid out in that agreement, which must be recorded on the properties as part of the land division.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's all my questions, thank you.
I do have a question on parcel 4, the large parcel there off to the left side of the screen. The shaded area, this is wetland B, right? So somebody's gonna put a house someplace on dry land and just have the wetlands there bordering their property line. Okay. And wetland B has certain restrictions as far as what can and cannot be cleared. Or is this gonna be left alone?
Yes, so wetland B is a state-regulated wetland and regulated by the township as well. So, there is nothing that could be done with wetland B without permits. But the intent is, and the whole layout of the project is intended to provide more than sufficient upland buildable area so that there would be no encroachment or no intended encroachment in the wetland. Plus, the township has the 25-foot natural features preservation area as well for each wetland.
Okay. So this, and it's also spilling over to parcel 5. So this big wetland B here on 5 and 6 is protected.
Oh,
No,
yes.
people can't develop on it,
Correct.
they can't set up a campfire on it, okay.
I do have another question then. I'm sorry, are you done? Okay. So, because it does border protected wetlands, are you able to put a dry well in, for those properties for water softener discharge, so the water softener does not go into the wetlands?
We would be able to do that, yes. There isn't anything in the plans currently or in the deed restrictions, I don't believe, that would address the water softener discharge.
The only thing I would be concerned with is the salt killing the wildlife and the preservation of the wetlands there. So if you could put in a dry well on those that actually border the wetlands.
Water softener discharge,
Yes.
sure.
Now, I know it was a stipulation in the planning commission's motion, and if this goes forward tonight, it would also be a stipulation in ours, but you have not received any response from Eagle as of yet, as far as the permit for crossing, correct? Yeah. They move slowly, so as long as it's a stipulation in our motion tonight, I'm comfortable with that.
Just a small point of clarification, this is 2 separate parcels. So if they did 2 shared driveways of 4 units each, they could do 8 units and it's there. It's not like if we were to say no, there's only gonna be 1 house here. All we are concerned about is, are we willing to let them cross through the wetland area with their private road, which would be a complete violation of the 25-foot rule, but they're asking for that variance, and in exchange for that, instead of 1 acre parcels, you're getting
3.
2 acre plus and 1 pretty nice sized one at the back, so.
And if I could clarify the wetland crossing, that's actually a 4-foot wide ditch. It does have wetland vegetation within it, so it is considered a regulated wetland, but it's literally this wide.
Yeah, there's the same pictures that were in the planning commission, it's.
Yep.
You could run and jump over it. But probably wetland B on lots 4 and 5 aren't so easily crossed. And I think that the answer was, how do you continue to let the swale, the small miniature little wetland that we're talking about, to continue to drain into the larger wetland? And there was gonna be paved, it had to be widened because the fire department said we need room for big vehicles to get across there. But there was gonna be a culvert
Yes.
drainage to allow water to move from A to B.
Yes,
So
correct.
we're not gonna flood, we're not gonna affect the natural flow of water, it's just gonna go through a tube.
Correct.
So there were a couple of stipulations that were presented to the planning commission, and it was, yeah, there's a picture of it. So it was, you still need to meet, answer any concerns that the fire department had, which I think they didn't have any, but the township engineer asked for a couple of things to be addressed. So that's still a requirement, right? You guys are working on making sure that if he had an open issue, it's gonna be closed.
Yes, yes, and that, of course, is required prior to getting land use permit from the township.
So with the road agreement that we talked about, will the moving of water underneath that road through a tube be part of that road agreement?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good, cool.
Any further questions, concerns? At this point, I would entertain a motion on 7A, the disposition of the special use application.
I'll move to approve the special land use for private road with a shared driveway crossing regulated wetlands and 25-foot natural feature buffer for 7 new homes on 20.39 acres located at 6025 Brighton Road, lot number 471126300011, including adjacent vacant parcel number 471127400012. The requirement of Article 19.03 of the zoning ordinance are generally met, and add the stipulation of eagle permit is required prior to land division approval.
Okay. I have a motion.
Support.
I have a motion. I have a second. Any further discussion?
Well, I wanted to, where do I go to put, or where do we put in for the dry wells to, do we amend this motion?
I think it's appropriate to put it under the special land use because it's directly related to protecting the wetlands.
Yes. So can we amend your motion to?
Yes, you can do that.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Okay.
For all houses, or
I
just
think
the ones bordering?
Bordering
Bordering
wetlands.
wetland.
Okay. So, I'd like to amend Mr. Susi's, motion.
Perhaps we better have Mr. Susi amend it.
I already did it.
To
He
add the
did
dry
it.
well?
Yeah.
He did it, and I agree.
Oh, I apologize. I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
I heard eagle, but not
Yeah,
wetland,
and then after you
for the
mention,
dry
I say,
well.
yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, we got it.
I apologize.
Got it, Patty? Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Discussion item question. Eagle can say yes, Eagle can say no, right? If Eagle says no, you have no houses on the other side of that swale then, right? You can't build the bridge.
Or they redo the project differently.
Right, or you lay it out.
Yeah, we would potentially have to come back to you folks.
And this was previously zoned low-density residential.
It's currently zoned low-density
Currently.
residential.
Okay, and low-density residential requires a minimum 1 or 2 acres?
Minimum 1 acre.
And these are all 2+
plus.
acres and
Yes.
3 acres? Okay. Devil's advocate, if I buy a 2.5 acre lot, one of these lots, can I then split it and make 2 1-acre lots?
There's, the Land Division Act would apply there to determine whether or not they could get additional splits. It has to do with how big the parent parcel is, how much time has gone by since it's been divided. So it's possible that might be a potential in the future, but I'd have to review the Land Division Act to give an answer.
House placement will be critical.
Huh?
House placement will be critical.
So the documents that are being prepared, is that like the equivalent of a master deed for an HOA, kind of?
These are being subdivided as simple meets and bounds parcels, so these are Land Division Act parcels. If they wanted to create more parcels, they would have had to have gone the site condo. But there are provisions in the Land Division Act that allows you to take a certain number of divisions, and then after, say, 10 years have gone by, you may be eligible for additional land divisions. Now, some of these parcels, because of the wetlands, you may not end up with the building envelope that would allow for it. So just because the parcel's 20 acres, not all 20 of that is developable, and whether or not they could get an additional parcel would have to be reviewed and determined at the time.
So if I had 2.5 acres and wanted to split it, I'm still meeting the zoning requirements of minimum 1 acre for each of those 2 lots. Does the owner of that 2.5 acres then have to go and get permission to split and get building permits and go through the rigmarole of land division things, and it's gonna go before the board or the planning commission, or who does it go before?
Standard land divisions are approved administratively. So if the owner of, say, parcel 3 decided 10 years from now that that property was eligible for a land division, they would have to go through a land division process, which is administrative, as long as it meets all the requirements of the zoning ordinance. Now, the one potential issue with that is we only allow up to 4 parcels on a shared driveway. So if they were to add additional lots to the shared driveway part of this, that would then mean that would become a private road, and that would have to come back before the board and the planning commission.
This isn't considered a private road right now?
It is only up to the driveway for the existing home on parcel 6, and then it becomes a shared driveway. So any future land divisions on parcels 3, 4, or 5 would potentially require that that shared driveway becomes a private road and would be subject to planning commission and township board approval.
All set?
I am.
No further discussion. Okay. So we have our motion, we have our second, we've had our further discussion. So at this time, I would ask all those in favor of approving this special land use application signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same? Motion carries. I would entertain a motion on 7B, the disposition of the environmental impact assessment.
I'd move to approve the environmental impact assessment dated May 20th, 2025 for a private road with a shared driveway for 7 new homes on 20.39 acres located at 6025 Brighton Road, 4711-26-300-011, and the adjacent vacant parcel 4711-27-400-012.
I'll second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same? Motion carried. And just a quick clarification, I know that's how it's written. Technically, 6 new homes and 1 existing home, but that is how it's written.
Did you hear me pause when I said
Yeah.
7? Yeah.
I will now entertain a motion on 7C, the disposition of the site plan.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the site plan dated August 22nd, 2025 for a private road with a shared driveway for 7 new homes on 20.39 acres located at 6025 Brighton Road, parcel 4711-26-300-011, and the adjacent vacant parcel 4711-27-400-012 with the following conditions. Eagle permit is required prior to land division approval.
Support?
Okay, I have a motion, I have support. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same? Motion carries.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Action item number 8 is the consideration of a recommendation for approval of a special land use application, site plan, and impact assessment for a drive-through restaurant within a multi-tenant commercial building. The property is located at 1111 South Latson Road, parcel number 4711-09-100-043, on the east side of Latson Road, south of Grand River Avenue. This request is submitted by Kevin Bannum. We have
Good evening, Catherine Reister of the law firm Cooper Reister Gross, right here in Genoa Township, represent legal counsel to the applicant tonight.
And Scott Tuziant with Boss Engineering, 3121 East Grand River Avenue, Howell, Michigan. So, yeah, as you mentioned, this is for a multi-tenant commercial building on the east side of Latson. This was actually approved prior as a multi-tenant. The only difference being that northernmost tenant space where the drive-through was initially indicated to be and intended to be a coffee shop with a drive-through. And since then, we have had interest in fast casual. There has been ordinance amendment that allows in the GCD district a fast casual such as Chipotle that wants to come into the space. So we've made very slight modifications to the site plan. For instance, at the northeast corner of the building, so the back of the drive-through space, that building was a hard corner coming into that space. So to make it a little bit more user-friendly on an interior layout, we simply made it a diagonal. That added square footage was actually counteracted by reducing the square footage on the south side of the building. So there's actually been an overall slight decrease in the size of the building, very minimal from the previous approval. Otherwise, the overall layout, location of the drive approach, utilities are all essentially identical to what they were before. And all of the approvals and some permits are actually already in place, such as road commission. That drive approach is actually already paved as part of an agreement with the adjacent owner to the north, which is the Mr. Car Wash that is nearing completion. So they have access to a full access driveway on Latson Road. So with that being said, be happy to answer any questions.
I got a question about whether it's a drive-through or pass-through.
So right now, the intent is, I think they call it a Chipotle lane. So most orders are becoming either app or online orders. So that's what they're going to be catering to. So that is the intent. However, it was designed and laid out to be sufficient and meet the ordinance for a full drive-through. So if, it has the 10 stacking spaces, if they did utilize it as the full drive-through, we did the sound study as if it had the order menu board, which shows that was
Is it intended to be built with a menu board out there? Or not?
No, again, that's just showing just as a placeholder in case, if
Down the
Chipotle.
line you decide to
future
upgrade.
users or, et cetera. So we wanted to make sure that the layout was conducive to other users as well.
So you are not looking to restrict it to pickup only and not being able to
No,
order?
and nor does the ordinance restrict it, but, so, that would be their
Okay.
own intent.
So it could be drive-through, drive-up, walk-in.
So it's like online order pickup through the drive-through or walk-in, yeah.
Oh, so they know your order, you drive up, they hand
it's
you the bags,
just-
you hand them the
so
money.
if you
and
order
leave.
online, hey, your orders will be ready in 15 minutes, and correct.
Or you could do it like a drive-through, right? You could order, because I saw the,
The order menu board is just a placeholder if ultimately they do intend to use it as a full drive-through, but there will not be an order menu board as of right now.
So it's not restricted?
It's not restricted, no.
But
But
the
we
in-
also,
but
we
the
didn't
in-
want to exclude it
Right.
and then have it be a surprise ultimately if they wanted to change their
Right.
business operation.
The intent today is just
That is
strictly
correct.
pickup. Got it.
And just so everybody is clear, the building is approved.
Yeah.
With a coffee shop. So if you decide to say, no, the building is still going to get built, it will just have a coffee shop with a drive-through instead of a fast casual restaurant with a drive-through.
Well, I honestly see this fast casual attracting less traffic than a coffee shop would have.
Correct. You'll see a decrease in that AM peak, which would be very difficult on this stretch of road. It is a very busy road, so this condition actually does improve the overall traffic condition.
Looks like the total is about the same, but the
Correct,
peak
yeah,
hours change.
Correct. Correct. The AM peak is significantly reduced. The PM peak actually goes up a little bit. Obviously, the coffee versus food. However, the overall peak though was that AM peak, and it is reduced.
so is that the same entrance and exit that the car wash will use?
The car wash has a right in, right out access as well. Obviously, that'll cater for people heading northerly and continuing to head northerly on Latson. But to give that option, there is a cross-access easement to allow for cars that want to head southerly.
You see it there?
Oh, I was looking at this.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
know.
see it on there. I see.
Yeah, so this is the joint site plan with both of those
I see.
sites.
Yeah.
How many parking spaces, what are the minimum number of parking spaces required for this?
It was low 70s. I think we're right around 72 or 73 spaces.
How many
And
do
so
you have?
what it's gonna look like, the other tenants aren't known right now.
Right.
Ultimately, once they are discovered or there is interest by parties, that's an evaluation that happens. What's the square footage? What's the appropriate parking spaces allotment for those uses? Is there any carryover or overlap or lack thereof? If you have opposing uses, and that's all part of it. And when a tenant occupies a space, they'd be coming in through the township. So
Would
as presented, we have on that northern tenant space would be the fast casual drive-through user. In the middle space could be anything, could be cell phone, hair cutting, something. On the south side, it's intended to be another restaurant space.
So there's only gonna be one place to put trash?
Correct, there's one joint enclosure, yes. So that may, depending on the users, if you do end up with 2 restaurant users, it may increase the frequency.
I'm sure it would.
So what I was just wondering is on the south side, if you're parking there, you got a little bit of a walk to get up to the buildings either way. Is there a possibility, based on the tenants for the other 2, to reduce the amount of concrete and increase the amount of grass?
So this particular lot, it's hard to answer that as a yes or no. There's a lot of factors that go into the layout of the site. And this particular site, the constraint was the overall depth of the parcel. Well, that and the location where we're required by the road commission to have an approved drive approach. Both of those things start putting in place where the building is gonna fall. The users ultimately dictate how many parking spaces are gonna be needed. There are ordinance requirements on how much green space, the percentage of green space versus the percentage of hard surface on site. So we are capped, I think it's 75% hard surface is what we're capped to by ordinance. And we are close to that threshold. We're at 74.3%. Really the only, all of the parking spaces, the drive aisles are minimum per what's required by either ordinance or the fire authority. So really the only ability to gain any additional green space would be maybe a couple feet on the south side of the building, because I think we have a sidewalk that's a little bit more than 7 feet wide.
I think we're gonna need all those parking spots if you have 3 businesses in there, to be honest
Well,
with
it
you.
depends on what the
But you already approved this before.
Pardon me?
This has already been approved before. This is a minor change, what we're talking about today.
Yeah, and ultimately, the change in use was ultimately what dictated that we had to make new application.
We're just deciding if we're comfortable with a fast casual drive-through versus a coffee shop drive-through.
So we can't make any adjustments to this plan?
No.
I'm a recycler, and I would really think that you ought to have a place that you could recycle cardboard.
So it is a single enclosure that can fit 2 boxes, so 2 6-yard or 8-yard dumpsters.
Oh, it is? That can accommodate that then?
Yes, yep, and it is depicted on there. So those little squares is a little hard to see, a little light, but those are the footprints of a standard dumpster you'd see at a commercial.
Good.
Okay. Well, at this time, I would entertain a motion on the disposition of the special land use application.
I'll move to approve the special land use permit to allow for a proposed drive-through restaurant on previously approved multi-tenant commercial building located on basin parcel number 471109100043. The site is located on the east end of Latson Road, south of Grand River Avenue. The proposal is based on the finding that the request generally meets the special land use requirement as stated in Article 19 of the Genoa Charter Township Zoning Ordinance.
I'll second.
I have a motion. I have a second. Do I have any further discussion? Seeing none. I would ask all those in favor to signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same? Motion carries. This time I'll entertain a motion on 8B, the disposition of the environmental impact assessment.
I'll move to approve the environmental impact assessment dated May 27th, 2025, to allow for a proposed drive-through restaurant for a previously approved multi-tenant commercial building located on vacant parcel 4711-09-100-043. The site is located on the east side of Latson Road, south of Grand River Avenue. The site is the same. It is still located on the east side. It's duplicated. I'll
located there.
stop there.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion, I have a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same? Motion carries.
You handled that well.
Now on to 8C, which is the disposition of the site plan. I would entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve the site plan dated May 27th, 2025, to allow for a proposed drive-through restaurant from previously approved multi-tenant commercial building located on vacant parcel land number 4711-09-100-043. The site is located on the east side of Latson Road, south of Grand River, still.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion.
Support.
I have a motion, I have a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same? Motion carries.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, you have a drive-through.
How fun.
Action item number 9 is the consideration of a request for the township to ask the Livingston County Road Commission to perform a speed study on Chilson Road, south of Brighton Road, in the vicinity of Chestnut Springs Drive. This project or request was brought to us by a resident, gentleman who spoke earlier, called the public. And I do feel it's a good opportunity for people to see how the speed limits are set, how the whole process works. I think this is a great candidate for that purpose. And
Yeah, I think that was an interesting read about how they determine that and all that kind of stuff. And I drive down there, and I agree. I think it's fearful.
that was a very good explanation of how it works. And in case anyone didn't review it, they will basically unpost the roads and measure the speeds. And whatever speed comes up as the speed that the 85th percentile of people drive at or below will most likely become the new speed limit. So,
No, I appreciate all the information that was in the packet. I don't know if you did it or Kelly, but whoever did, great job.
that was Kelly.
Thank you.
And again, I can't say is that I feel comfortable predicting either way how it will turn out. So,
Mr. Chair, just to a point of order, I did receive a letter this afternoon from Rowdy Perry, who is the unit supervisor with Brighton Recreation Area. This is a letter of support for a speed limit reduction on Chilson Road through Brighton Rec Area. I just want to point out for the good of the order that this is very near to our southern boundary and that many portions of Chilson Road that are near the Brighton Rec Area are in Hamburg Township. So I don't know if us initiating this study will allow the Road Commission to also extend their research area into Hamburg Township, but we will work closely with the County Road Commission to determine that if they need a letter from Hamburg Township, that may be the next step.
thank you for that. And yes, I must say, I can't say authoritatively whether or not they will go in Hamburg Township, so, without Hamburg Township saying to. So, the Road Commission will set the parameters of where the study is done. And I know they are a little backed up, so it's not going to happen right away, but with our authorization, they will proceed and schedule it.
At least we can start the process.
So, we are looking to get a grant for this. What was that, what this was for?
Oh, nope, that's our
Oh,
park,
I
parkland, yep.
apologize. Okay.
No, this one,
This one is
the
something that we
state
have to
police
do?
and the road commission cover the cost, so this will not be any cost to Genoa Township.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yep.
So do we need a motion to?
So, yes, at this time, I would entertain a motion.
I move to request that the Livingston County Road Commission perform a speed study on Chilson Road, south of Brighton Road, in the vicinity of Chestnut Springs Drive.
I'll second it.
I have a motion. I have support.
I second it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Action item number 10 is the consideration of a request for approval of a voucher system to support township resident basic membership in the Brighton Senior Center at a cost of $25 per resident who signs up to be a member of the senior center. And just a quick bit of bookkeeping, the new location, the Brighton Senior Center just moved. The new location is 125 South Church Street, in the building that many of the people who've been around a long time know as Old Scranton. It's properly called the BCC Building. So several of us toured the facility, beautiful facility. Jody Valenti is the director. She does an excellent job over there. And I have it in the memo. I don't know it off the top of my head, but we do have fairly strong resident participation already. Obviously, they would like to see it a little higher, and we would like to see our seniors have options and get that number a little higher as well. The clerk was polite enough to pull up a breakdown of our registered voters by school district and also by age. And we have 9,864 residents who are registered to vote, which is roughly 45% are over the age of 50, so 51 or higher. So we are an aged population. So there is potential benefit for many of our residents here. Most of the local senior centers are 55 plus, some are as low as 50. And let's see here. If you're in Howell schools, you already are allowed to, through your assessment, belong to the Howell Senior Center, which doesn't preclude you from joining this one as well. But just looking at the number of Brighton schools participants, registered voters that are in that district, if we had a 5% utilization, you're looking at about 184 people would most likely take advantage of this, which would represent a total cost to the township of $4,600.
If anybody involved in the Howell School District wanted to come, are we willing to pay their $25?
If they're a resident.
This
Yeah,
is
as
all
long-
Genoa Township
Yep, as long as you're a Genoa resident anywhere in Genoa, and you want to join the Brighton Senior Center, this would work for you.
And it says currently we have 48 people that reside within the Howell School District using the Brighton Senior Center.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I went there during their grand opening week, and while I was there, there was 3 Genoa Township residents that signed up while I was there. And that was on the Friday, I think, of that week, at the end of it.
Yeah, she does a good job. She does a lot with the seniors. There's a lot of activities.
Yep.
There's extended hours. She really goes to bat for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does a good job there.
There's a lot of activities, a lot of things to do there.
Now, if I understand correctly, there's another township or city doing this voucher system?
City of
Yes.
Brighton.
City of Brighton does it? So maybe we can reach out to them and see what their process is for this
Actually, so
voucher
Jody already kind of showed me that. And what they do is there will be a set voucher that the clerk actually will hold. Brighton watermarks theirs. I mean, I can't imagine that many people are going to try and forge this document, but the clerk will come up with a secure method of creating this document. And if somebody wants to join, they'll come in. The clerk will verify that that person is indeed a resident of Genoa Township. And if they are, she'll hand them a voucher, and then they go to the Brighton Senior Center and sign up.
Could it just be handled electronically? Like, can the clerk or someone here send an email to the Brighton Senior Center and say, hey, here's an electronic voucher for so-and-so? So it comes from
It
our,
won't be as official as a little piece of paper.
it's not as fun as a piece of paper,
we
but
can
you're
work
not
out the
gonna-
details. We can absolutely work out the details.
You guys are just
I
trying to
think
create
that's-
more work for me, aren't you?
Fill out a piece
We'll
of
get the
paper,
clerk.
send a quick email.
I think that's really up to how the Brighton Senior Center would prefer to handle it,
Yeah.
whether
Yeah.
it be email or
I think
paper.
she said the city keeps like $1,000 or $2,000 or something like.
So
like in a
what they
bank,
do is,
And then when she needs more,
rather than exchanging money every time a voucher comes in, they front a portion of the money, and then when there's like 5 or 6 left, they'll
Draws
call
down.
up and say, hey, you're getting close.
Yeah, draw down.
And we'll go ahead and send in additional funds. Any unused funds would carry over to next year. The one thing, just to make it like not a disaster or headache for the clerk and sending out refunds and that kind of thing, no retroactive memberships. We apologize for that. So this year, if you already paid, unfortunately, you already paid, so there's nothing we can do, but next year you would be eligible for the voucher. And their fiscal year is July 1st through May 31st, so, or June 30th, excuse me.
Now, my thought process was to maybe approve this for this year. And then in a year from now, whether we do it in our budget process, kind of reevaluate it, see how much it's actually getting used, and determine if we want to move forward again, which most likely we will. I'd just like to take a look at it after a year.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So you're saying that it starts July 1 is the fiscal. Are we, what if they sign up now, like in October? How does that work? Does it get prorated, or are we?
They'll be getting a 9-month membership for the full $25.
Oh, okay.
It's not the world's most sophisticated billing system, however, it is only $25.
And that is their base membership. They have 3 levels. and-
There are, yep.
Yeah.
anything beyond that, the senior has to pay.
If members would like to upgrade, they will have to cover the upgrade themselves. Basically, what it does is give you, the more active you're going to be, you probably want to get the higher level membership. It gives you discounts on the various trips and dinners and things like that. They plan quite a bit of stuff. There's a lot of nice activities involved. They have a pool table, which was pretty cool. There were a couple of gentlemen shooting pool when I was there. I couldn't tell
Nice.
if there was any illegal gambling going on, but they didn't look too shady, so. It's a nicely run, I think it's a great option for our seniors to get together and hang out. And again, we have an older population.
Do we have a set, it says $25 per resident, do we have an amount that we're going to send them at first? You said we pay a little in advance, so we're not paying all the time? Do you have?
No, we need to establish that right now. I am guessing you would probably start off with $2,500. That would get you 100 memberships.
Are you
Probably,
gonna spread the word on the app,
yeah, yeah.
on the newsletter or something?
And
Well,
if we-
absolutely.
If we pay, if we pay for $25 times 100, if we pay the 2,500 and only 70 people sign up, will they refund us if we don't?
Those
or
funds
will
carry over to next year.
carry over, but if we do not renew, how does that work?
We'll have to clarify that, and I'm sure they would understand, and we'll set the process in place to get a refund if we decide to cancel the program.
Just do
I'm
like
firmly
a grade
confident
or
we will not, but, excuse me?
Or just do less money?
We don't have to do that, I was just,
Kenny was saying Brighton puts in $1,000 and they draw down on that. I mean, that could be.
When they run out. they'll
each time,
tell.
okay, yeah.
I'm good with that. And also noted in this memo, we'll have to have a budget line item created and brought back to you guys for approval if we approve it tonight.
Yeah, that's a real thing. And the
I'm
other
good
thing
with
is,
1,000, starting with that.
this current one is just for the Brighton Senior Center, and that's simply because we were able to have a lot of interaction with Jody, and she kind of walked us through. We're welcome to working with other senior centers as well, but some people were coming in and asking because of our previous discussions, so we didn't want to hold it up any longer. So we can get it going for Brighton, and then if we wish to expand it, we can do that.
And we need to establish a start date so I can have time to implement the
Tomorrow.
the
Vouchers.
voucher tomorrow.
Okay, we'll give you 48 hours.
Boy, these guys are tough.
Right? Go with Kevin's outfit.
I'm sure Brighton would share their program.
I'm
with you.
sure they will.
So, if we decide to proceed, a motion should include the upfront amount that will be given, and a starting date, and anything else you can think of we should put in there.
I'd like to request a cap on that, so if we start with $1,000, I'd hate to come back to the board next month and say we need another 1,000, so.
Sure, no,
maybe-
absolutely.
Maybe a ceiling not to exceed.
And I will say that calculation of 5% membership, if 5% of the people take us up on this that are eligible, would be $4,600.
How much?
4,600.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
put a
would
cap of
approve
5.
more than that, just to be safe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
cap of
maybe
5.
approve $5,000 to be
In the budget.
released in $1,000 increments
Right.
as
Perfect.
needed.
Yeah.
Perfect.
October 1st,
For,
start date, because it's gonna be an agenda item for the 15th of September, right?
If we approve it this
if we
evening,
approve it this
the
evening, it's gonna
budget will come back, but that'll
We
be,
don't have, we don't have to wait for the budget. right?
yeah.
yeah, only the budget will come back. If we approve it tonight, it is approved.
It's there, okay.
Because we did a discussion on this once before.
I don't think they're gonna come pounding your door down if we start it soon, right?
Well, how are they gonna know?
I need probably a week to,
A week from today?
September 15th is a
9:15.
Monday.
That's
So
good, yeah.
that gives you the rest of this week and all of next week.
yeah, well, like, yeah, if we could. September 15th sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right, I'll make a motion.
Okay?
I'll make a motion to request approval of a voucher system to support township resident basic membership in the Brighton Senior Center at a cost of $20 per resident, $25 per resident, with a starting date of September 15th. We will do $1,000 increments with a cap of 5,000.
Perfect.
I'll support that.
Okay. Well, I have a motion, I have support. Any further discussion?
Yes.
All those in favor signify by saying,
Hold on.
Stat, we were gonna do this for a year.
oh, yes. Yep, correct.
Okay. For 1 year,
1 year
starting
with potential
So-
renewal after, yep.
potential to renewal.
We really should, since their membership drive actually starts July 1st of 2026.
Okay, yep.
We should coincide with that.
Ask that if we could follow their fiscal year, it'd probably
That would be good.
Full year of July 1st.
So starting.
So this will be
September
less than a
15th, running
one-year
through
test
July 1st.
program.
Beginning 9/15 through June 30th, 26.
Yes.
June 30, 26.
Okay.
So out of
so do you-
curiosity, those are asking for just 1 year. What would be your thought of why we would not continue?
I don't
You
think,
brought it up.
I don't think I wouldn't consider it again. I just, since it's a new thing, it would be nice to have it brought back just to see how it
Okay.
went.
All right, just curious.
And we can discuss it.
Okay. So,
So the motion was made, we added some caveats.
Wait.
Did you get the caveats for the start and end dates, Patty? Okay, thank you.
okay.
Yeah.
So I do have a motion, I do have a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same? Motion carried. Next up is an item for discussion. And this item regards the coming up with a park development plan and a grant support proposal from K2 Environmental Consulting for this 77-acre township-owned property on Brighton Road, east of Chilson. Kelly and I, this is the former DNR property that they proposed turning into a gravel pit, and sadly started on the clear cutting of the trees, didn't necessarily finish. Kelly and I attempted to walk the parcel, and it is, wow, overtaken with invasive species. It's not really walkable in its current form, like at all walkable. Like even if you're an adventuresome type, you better bring a machete.
The previous tree canopy kept all that from growing, so you
It
could
did.
actually walk through, and now it's gone.
The Russian olive was astounding, actually.
Thank you, State of Michigan.
Yes, yes, so this was foisted upon us. It's not that we want to turn it into, some kind of Kensington Metro Park, really just looking for it to be restored to its natural habitat, which was a wooded area that if somebody wanted to go adventure into the woods, they could do that. And currently, well, there aren't near as many woods to venture into, but there's also no way to really access that property easily. It's quite treacherous. This whole process here is just to seek a grant. We spoke with our state representative, Jennifer Conlon, and she expressed willingness, if we bring this forth with a solid plan, to support trying to get us a grant to fix what the state messed up.
Seems only fair.
The person who holds the purse strings happens to be from the next township over, so that's not a bad thing to have access to as well. So I do think if we bring a solid plan, there is a pretty good chance that we would get a grant, but there is no guarantee.
It's definitely worth a try.
Yeah, has there been any conversation about what it would cost to do this development?
The final project cost will come after, when we get the report.
Okay.
So I know numbers that were thrown around, we're definitely approaching six figures. So it would probably be a little large for us to try to tackle on our own.
Why can't we just clean it up and get it back to where it was?
That's what they want to do.
Well, that's,
Yeah, but this whole thing here with the timeline, that's way more than just cleaning it up and trying
in
to
order
get some
to,
trees.
in order to get the grant, if you want the grant, it's kind of what you have. You have to have a very specific goal that you're working toward, a plan of how you're going to achieve that goal, and then some pretty clear costs associated with getting to that goal, and Bill's favorite, deliverables.
What is your intent though at the end? What do you want to see happen over there?
Like I said, we just want it to really be usable land for the adventuresome soul.
Like a park?
In my mind.
Well, really a wooded park that if you want to go walk in the woods, you can do that.
Because people used to just hunt on it and they'd park on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Before it was destroyed.
There were some trails and stuff through there, kind of like how they had, a little bit like what they have at Brighton Rec. Most of that is, like I said, gone.
Well, this here, I mean, I'm looking at the list of possibilities, and some of these things are, me right now, I'm gonna telegraph, no. Mine considerations, no. We already tried that, right? I'm kinda like thinking like Candy, it used to be okay. It was just woods for deer, and if you wanted to walk through it, just walk through the woods, like people have been doing for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a bicycle park or a disc golf thing, it just mow down the invasive species, give the trees a chance to grow back, maybe even plant some trees, some additional trees. For
That's really what,
natural ground
that's what
cover
we're
control.
looking to do. I think he just put in some examples, and he does this all the time for many different communities, so he's probably gonna give you a couple different options.
If you try
Yes,
to walk in there, you can't get in there. I mean, stumps, everything, I mean, it's just,
Yeah,
it lands, it's a minefield.
Right now, sending the Boy Scouts in with a couple trimmers, not an
gonna work.
option.
No, I would
Yeah.
say if the guy's gonna charge us X number of dollars to go and clear cut what you call the Russian olives,
Olive, yep.
Get that to where it's passable by humans and keep that under control and just let Mother Nature run. We don't have to have any paved bike trails or anything else.
Oh, no, there's no, this is very natural, is the plan. This is just whether or not we want him to put together the plan and help us seek the grant. The actual parameters of the project would be laid out once we get a report from him in terms of what we're looking for.
In my mind, for this piece, I mean, we can't just go in and brush hog because those Russian olives are gonna come right back. I think it would be more of a brush hog and replace.
There
other
is
trees.
there's a prescribed method for dealing with this that he has done other places.
Anything
And
would
it takes time. It's a 2 to 3 year process. And, it will probably involve new plantings. Some of the old plantings may come back. Some of them are probably gonna come back as something you don't want, so sadly, they may be, even though there's some new growth coming out of this big, huge 4-foot round stump, that's probably gonna be eliminated because it eventually wouldn't be able to support itself the way it is set up. The other thing is there's a ton of lumber left laying on the ground there just to rot, when we would hope that maybe there's some way we can get some access for the public to maybe come get some of the, I hate to see all this beautiful hardwood go to waste.
I know, that was a terrible waste.
It
Really?
was not a good plan. It was not
Dark
well
of
thought
night.
out.
How is that new roundabout gonna affect that?
Well, the parkland, it wouldn't go anywhere near the parkland if it were to come to fruition.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
about that.
Yep.
It'll be
it's,
down by the, not where the barber shop is though, right?
What's that?
Where they're gonna put the,
The roundabouts, there's a bunch of different proposals.
yeah.
The main traffic flow they would be trying to address is at the intersection of Brighton and Chilson. There's several different ways they're talking about going
Oh, yeah?
about it, but
Years out?
it is many, many, many years out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's land acquisition, financial obligations. It's far from a done deal.
But the four-way stop is helpful.
Now, which is that?
The four-way stop right there. That's helpful.
Is what?
It's helpful.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
So with this grant, so we're gonna pay somebody $10,000 to help us file for a grant?
Yep.
Okay, what strings come with the grant?
In terms of,
We don't
Okay,
even
I'm
know
gonna
if we're
grant
gonna
it,
get
but you have to put a bike path in, or I'm gonna grant it, but you have to put a parking lot in, or I'm gonna grant it, but.
would depend where you go. So there's about 5 different funding sources where to get these grants. And, there's some as like a natural grant, some as like a designed park, which is not what we're looking to do. There's a number of different funding sources, and there could be strings attached. Now, what we talked about with our representative was indeed just natural forest park, quote unquote. And
Keep
her
in mind that
assistant
this is-
seemed to know where we wanted to go with that,
It's a
and
discussion item, it's not a voting.
yeah, we're not voting. This is to
Discussion.
present it to the people.
I wanna.
People
I'm
can
just laying the
process it
ground, we're
for
gathering, absorbing.
a
That's what we're
while.
doing
Yep,
right now.
yep, they can look. Yeah, we're not making any decisions tonight. This is just something that we're thinking could be a valuable offering to the
Plan that would be presented
residents.
to us about where we want to pursue it.
Is it possible to get an estimate from, because our trusted source that mows the lawn here at the township, on his opinion on what it would take to get it to where we want it to be? Just a rough idea of how much of a grant that we're asking for? Is it okay for him to go out there and maybe give us an estimate so we know what exactly we're looking at?
I mean, I think it depends on what you're looking
Yeah,
for.
it's
One of
probably
my
gonna be a
big
little over his
concerns with
scope.
this piece is you do have some forest regeneration that's happened, right? It's been now enough years that you have trees that have started to grow on the property. And I don't think any of us, it would be very easy just to get a quote for somebody to go in with a forestry mulcher and just churn up everything that's out there.
No.
The problem is you're gonna kill trees that are starting to regrow as part of that process. And to me, at least being out there and from what I know of it, it feels very overwhelming to try to preserve the trees that have already started to regrow and somehow try to manage the autumn olive and some of the invasive species that are prohibiting that. And that's really where I feel like we reached out to a professional because, I mean, I would, let's say you just go out there and clear everything, but that's really not, I don't think, what our approach to that property should be. I think we want to try to encourage the vegetation that we want there to stay, but somehow try to manage the invasives.
If you want this to become a
So-
forest
yeah,
again,
which is why we reached out to him.
It's gonna be done right.
it will take an expert
He's
in
the-
forest regeneration. It's not just gonna be a guy with a chainsaw or,
And I think this is too much for Coopers, too.
I do think this is probably a little beyond his scope. I mean, I don't want
I
to
do.
speak for him, but this is.
We can ask, but.
Yeah, and this gentleman actually comes highly recommended by Mike Wilczewski, like I said in a memo, who works with the state quite a bit. So the state is very familiar with Spencer's work. So when they see his name, you know,
It helps.
they're a little more comfortable
Yeah,
that
but
he
they're the
has the
ones-
proper training, that their money isn't just going up in smoke if they decide to give it to us.
They're the ones that destroyed it.
They are, and that's why we're hoping maybe they'll be more receptive to giving us a grant to fix it, but again, there are no guarantees.
Well, maybe we'll just have to do it on our own.
But yeah, if you don't get a grant, and the number is stomachable,
Hopefully not.
it's not like this money just went up in smoke. I mean, the 2,500 for the grant application, I guess, just went up in smoke. But the planning, the direction, all of that, you can implement it yourself if you don't get a grant. I will say the confidence level was definitely, you know, better than 50% that you will probably be able to secure some sort of funding. He actually mentioned some private funding ideas as well. He's a pretty creative guy. He's done this quite a bit, so he had some pretty good ideas.
Yeah, I guess we'd have to just see about the vision, you know, like that. That's how I want it. I would want to see all kinds of stuff,
My screensaver.
water parks and slides and all that stuff. We already have enough of that stuff.
Oh, yeah, no. As I've said, our vision, so to speak, is just to return it to land that is somewhat usable. Otherwise, it is just going to be a war zone. Yes,
What we need right there.
exactly.
Rick nailed it.
Maybe a few less ferns on the ground, probably just due to our soil.
That's fun to walk in. I love walking my dogs in places like that. That's cool.
All right, so what do we have to do here? Just say,
Oh,
is
no,
everybody
but-
interested in this? Is
Just,
everybody not
well,
interested?
yeah,
Discussion.
do you guys have any interest in exploring this further, or is this a, nope?
Yeah, I mean, if it's gonna give us, recover Mother Nature to usable for people to walk along, yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's the plan.
But no big playground or anything, natural.
Yeah, this is not gonna be a,
Thank you.
Like our beautiful Fillmore Park.
yes. Okay, do we have any correspondence?
We did have one item of correspondence, and Madam Clerk, I'll let you address that.
Okay, in order to be compliant with Michigan law, it says, Michigan election law, it says we have to have 2 drop boxes for anything over 15,001 voters. We have 17,758 registered voters, so we had to add a secondary absentee drop box. And the Chilson Hills Road Fire Station at the fire department has allowed us to install a secondary drop box. And we have video monitoring on it. And the absentee ballot drop box was donated by the state. And we are trying to get reimbursement through a grant for the installation and for the video camera. We had to add a video camera to the fire department, and in order for them to do that, they had to upgrade their software. So it was a little bit more than what we thought initially. But the state pays for the funding, and so now we are compliant with Michigan election law. And that's it.
Very good.
The clerk has been doing an excellent job of
Way to go, clerk.
making sure everything is by the book.
All right.
All right, any member updates from various other boards you participate with? Anything new since last meeting?
On a personal note, I am a grandma.
Excellent.
Congratulations.
My youngest boy
Congratulations.
and his wife had a baby girl. They named her Lainey.
Oh, I love it.
I know,
Congrats.
She's cute, so thanks.
Excellent.
And I am thrilled about Chilson Road being opened. Oh my gosh, that is so helpful, isn't it? That really affected me going to Howe,
Yeah.
you know? Oh yeah, you too.
Yeah.
It's a major inconvenience.
I know, so I was so thrilled, and maybe it was ahead of schedule even.
And I think the fire department is equally grateful.
Yes, I know, I thought about that, because look where they couldn't have got through. I know it, no, it was wonderful news, I'm glad to hear about that. And speaking of senior center stuff, HAPRA has, contracted with Let's to pay for seniors that are in the Howell Area School District to get a ride. But it's the same thing, they gotta register with HAPRA, takes a couple days, but then they can get a ride to the senior center. They're doing it to entice people to come there. It's not like Jody's got going.
Jody's got her own bus, yeah.
Well, I know, but it's a whole different kind of
Yeah.
operation over there. This is different. So they just started it. I told her I'd try and help get the word out, you know, because it's for
Excellent.
Howell. Anybody in Howell would be eligible. You know, really.
Does HAPRA have anything in writing about that? Because you could
We're
send
supposed-
it, we could get it on my Genoa app.
Oh, yeah.
Called out twice now.
I know. I'm supposed to meet with somebody. I was gonna get them a
Okay.
count, so we can put it in the newsletter at my
Good.
other job.
Perfect.
And, you know, I'm trying to help them. And seniors need to do that.
Absolutely.
So
No, it's a
that's-
valuable service, and the way they'll know that they participate, if you're paying a millage toward your parks and rec,
I know.
you too are eligible for said bus rides.
So we'll see, you know, what happens there, right?
That's great.
That's all I
Excellent.
have.
Well, I hope it increases participation.
Mm-hmm.
It's another beautiful center. We're blessed to have some excellent options for senior activity centers nearby.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Any further comments?
Disappointing news, summer taxes are due Monday, 9/15, so.
Nice.
Last day after the 15th, then it's a 1% penalty. per
What's our
month.
percentage in, do you know?
What's that?
What's our percentage already in? I mean.
You know what, I haven't ran those numbers.
Oh.
I'll report back next week,
Okay,
or next meeting.
All right.
We are usually very good.
yeah,
We're usually in the 90%.
okay.
So I do have an update. We had talked about previously using this room, the Township Hall, for free services offered by Livingston County Sheriff. And I've been in contact with Lieutenant Matt Young. He has a list of courses. I sent that out to everybody to take a look at it with a proposed schedule on start and end dates, alternate dates as well. He was very appreciative, replied and said, thanks for sending this out. He's contacting his training crew to make sure that the trainers are gonna be available on those dates. Tentatively, the plan would be to use this facility on the fourth Monday of each month, starting with October, the fourth Monday in October, if everything goes well. And he did suggest, he corrected something. One of the courses offered is place of worship security assessments. That's not something you hold here. The sheriff would go to different places of worship, do a walk around and just say, hey, maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that. So he suggested taking that off of the agenda and replacing it with an extra, either the tactical medical or the active.
Okay.
Yeah, so once he comes back with the thumbs up on the schedule, I can get back with the board here, and then and he did talk about the coffee with a cop. I did ask him about that on when that would be during normal business hours, so that people can come in and see, you know, they'll rotate shifts, the officers would come in, and maybe do that on, you know, once a month as well as the training, once a month for different classes, so.
I really like that idea, the coffee with a cop.
Yeah.
The fourth Monday, Kelly, I don't know, do we have anything planned? Sometimes we'll do joint meetings on the fourth Monday, just because it's an open meeting. We don't have anything planned.
So usually the joint meetings are on fifth Mondays. Fourth
Oh,
Mondays
fifth.
have been reserved for planning commission overflow. Planning commission used to meet the second and fourth.
Right.
So if they have a very heavy docket, sometimes we'll call up that fourth meeting. But we haven't really had a lot going on at planning commission, so I think we can just look at it month to month, and if there is a need for a planning commission meeting, we can try to shuffle things around.
Right, and the alternate date was the Tuesday following the fourth Monday, if weather.
If there were, yeah.
Yeah, and he knows that. He knows the alternate is the day after.
Now, are you offering to come here and open the building and be here and close the building, or?
Well, I was hoping we kind of cycle through or something, you know, a group effort here. Yeah, but, you know.
I look
it's-
forward
it's-
to attending all the classes, so, you know,
Yeah.
I'll be here.
Yeah.
Some really, really good offerings.
Yeah, it's some
Great
cool stuff.
subject matter.
Yeah, some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would like to attend the classes myself as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, it's all great stuff.
A couple of those we have done here for the employees, and they've been great classes.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good, okay.
And, yeah, real quick, they're, T-minus 8 days, so 1 week from tomorrow is our Planning and Zoning for Everyone workshop right here in this room. And if you don't want to come in person, you can watch on the YouTube channel, both live and at your convenience at a later time. It'll be saved, just like all of these meetings. It's going to be some really, really valuable information, like, why can't we see, you see people all the time, there's too many Mexican restaurants, there's too many car washes. This will help explain why or why not you can or cannot say no on those sorts of things.
Do you have a lot of people signed up?
There will be, I forgot of all things, it was 33. Did we get a?
We're up to 50.
Okay.
Oh, excellent. So we are up to 50, which is a pretty good number for this room. However, we don't want to discourage anyone, but you are welcome to watch at home as well.
Any board members that want to go, we just need to coordinate who does it from home or who comes in, not more than
I
4.
plan on being here.
I signed up too.
Yeah.
Didn't you, Janine?
Well, I was thinking about it, but now I can watch it online if it's being recorded, so it's not necessary.
We're
that
not-
I have
Either
to
of you
attend.
sign up?
We're not giving any input.
I'm out
This
of
is
town
not
on
our show.
vacation.
Right,
Huh?
so I can watch it.
I'm out of town on vacation. Camping. In the woods.
Well,
Just as long as there's not more than 4 of them.
yeah, we'll coordinate amongst
Not
ourselves, but if anyone else wants to come in person, Kelly and Amy and myself, I'll be the MC for the evening's activities. And we're gonna have, we'll take live questions from the audience, and depending how it goes, if it's able to be coordinated, we might entertain questions that pop up through the feed as well. We haven't totally determined that. It'll probably depend, obviously, priority will be given to people who are in the room to ask whatever questions they want to ask. But I think it'll be a very, very valuable tool for just educating people on how planning and zoning works. There's things I certainly didn't know.
A lot of things I still don't know.
Yeah, there you go.
More.
Shh. We do invite other residents of other townships are more than welcome to watch the feed online, but we have asked that the people who come in person be Genoa Township residents. Just so that the feedback and questioning is very targeted to our audience. Okay, any further questions, comments, concerns, other than my wanting a motion for adjournment?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you for coming.